Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, coming from you from the home of the Bobcats, Northern Adirondack Central School, as the NAC Bobcats play host to the Seton Knights in a girls' CVAC JV volleyball game. This JV match consists of the best of 3 games for the match. The Bobcats will send out tonight number 15, Kylie Felch. Number 1, Christy LaForest. Number 17, Debbie Morrison. Number 11, Deb DeMars. Number 2, April Miller. And number 14, Casey Gregor. The Knights of Seton Catholic will send out number 14, Marissa Hamill. Number 8, Sarah Herons. Number 12, Maggie Church. Number 7, Hillary Latinville. Number 9, Bridget Sorrell. And number 5, Brooke Sofer. We're getting the lineup straight here with the officials, and we'll have service to open the game in just 1 minute. Okay, the Bobcats in Northern Adirondack and Casey Gregor will open up service. Bumped up the net, bumped over. Deb DeMars. Bumped over net. Bumped behind by the Bobcats. Number 12, Maggie Church. So it'll be a side out for Seton. Number 14, Marissa Hamill will open service for the Seton Knights. Service is good. Bumped up by DeMars. Chased down by Gregor. Bobcats with the 4 hits. So it will be the Seton Knights on the board first in this game. It'll be Seton 1 serving 0. Service is good. Chance returned by the Bobcats. 2 serving 0 as the Knights take an early lead here in game 1. 2 serving 0. Service is good. Bumped back by Felch. Ball can't be returned by the Knights, so it'll be a side out for the Bobcats. Christy LaForest, number 1, will serve for the Bobcats. 0 serving 2. Service is a net service. Will be a side out for the Knights. Taking over for service for the Knights will be number 8, Sarah Herons. Service is no good. Side out to the Bobcats. Number 15, Kylie Felch. Serve for the Bobcats. Service is a net service, so we'll turn it over to the Knights. And Maggie Church, number 12, 2 serving 0. Here early in game 1, the best of 3 series. Service is in. Deb DeMars with a nice little touch over the net will gain the side out back for the Bobcats. Number 17, Deb Morrison, take over service for the Bobcats. Service is good, and it'll be an ace. And the Bobcats are on the board. 1 serving 2. One serving 2. Debbie Morrison. Service is good. Another ace. Miscommunication on the part of the Knights have now given the Bobcats an opportunity to tie this game. So, Debbie Morrison, number 17, serving for the Bobcats. Service is wide. We'll turn it over to the Knights. Hillary Lattonville, number 7. Service is good. Deb DeMar is setting for Begor. Begor's kill attempt is in the net. So Lattonville will be credit for the point, and she'll put her Knights back out in the lead. 3 serving 2. Service is short. Side out to the Bobcats. Number 11, Deb DeMars. Take over service. Service is good. The Forest, setting for April Miller. Ball bumped over the net. Seton Knights are called for under the net, so it'll be a point for the Bobcats and Deb DeMars. Service is good. Bumped up to the net. So they have to be bumped over. Here's Morrison up to the Forest. The Forest, a nice little push over. Morrison pushing it deep, but returned by Church. April Miller with a kill. And April Miller, the Bobcats, came up with a fine kill to give the Bobcats the lead once again, 4-3. Deb DeMars serving for Bobcats. Bobcats can't handle the ball, so we'll turn it over to the Knights. And number 9, Bridget Sorrell. Sorrell serving. 3 serving 4. Bumped up LaForest. Setting for Miller. Miller, a nice little push over. Back to LaForest. LaForest is called for over the net. So Sorrell will bring the score all tied up again at 4. Bumped up. Begor. Handled by Sorrell. And a bumped up pass by Lattonville. Can't be handled at the net. April Miller, number 2, take over service. All tied up here, game 1. Miller service is an ace off the hands of Maggie Church. So score the Bobcats a point. 5-4. April Miller, 5 serving 4. Nice ace by Miller. Six serving 4 as Miller comes up with a nice ace. April Miller, number 2. Service is wide. Turn the ball over to the Knights. Number 5, Brooke Sofer. Number 5. Nice ace by Sofer. Brooke Sofer has pulled the Knights to within 1. 5 serving 6. Sofer's service is good. Pumped up by Miller. Not handled by the Bobcats, so it's all tied up. Seton Knights again have tied the score. All tied up at 6. Service is good. Bumped up by DeMars. Bumped long by Felch. And the Knights take a lead. Service is good. Miller bumped it up. Begor bumped it deep to the Bobcats can't put the ball in the net again. So the Knights of Seton Catholic take an 8-6 lead here. Service is good. That'll be an ace. Off the hands of the Bobcats. Seton has opened up a lead of 9-6 here. 9-7-6. Service is in the net. Side out to the Bobcats. And number 14, Casey Begor. Good service by Brooke Sofer and the Knights. Service is good. And nicely by the Seton Knights. The Forest. Kylie Felch coming up with a nice kill. 7-9 here. Service good. Popped up, has to go over. Felch bumping over to Morrison. Morrison bumping it back to the Knights. Sofer bumping up in the air. Sorrell. And dead to Morrison. Dead to Mars. Just coming up short of the ball, so turning the side out to the Knights. 9-7. Marissa Hamill, number 14. Nice service is good. LaForest to Morrison. Morrison's kill type is handled by the Knights. Nicely over by Sorrell. LaForest back to Morrison. And again Sorrell handles it nicely. As does Kylie Felch. Number 9, Bridget Sorrell for Seton Catholic Knights. Handled two nice hard hits. Back over to the Bobcats side, and Kylie Felch ran it down for the side out. 7-9, the Forest. Can't be returned. So the Bobcats are within one. Christy LaForest, number 1. 8-9 for the Bobcats. Pumped up to the net. And again, not returned. All tied up. All tied up here in game 1. Service is good. Up over the net. Morrison to DeMars. Back to Morrison. And Morrison. A nice pick for a kill. Ten serving 9. Next service, turn the ball over to the Knights. Excuse me. Number 8, Sarah Herons. 9-10 here in game 1. Service is short. Turn it back to the Bobcats. Inside out. Substitution for the Bobcats. Number 10, Janelle Yasmin will enter the game replacing number 15, Kylie Felch. Yasmin for Felch. Serving 9. Service is good. Here's Begor. Up to DeMars. Bumped over by Morrison. DeMars picking the short hit up in the ball. April Miller to DeMars. Back for Miller. Miller's handled by the mix-up and the Knights defense. Here's the Bobcats. Another point. Timeout for the Seton Knights. When we return, Janelle Yasmin will be serving 11-9 for the Bobcats here in game 1. Okay, Janelle Yasmin, 11-9. Service is on. Turn the ball over to the Knights and Maggie Church. Substitution for the Bobcats, Kylie Felch will return, replacing Janelle Yasmin. Felch for Yasmin. Maggie Church, number 12. The Knights down 2, 9-11. Game 1. Service is an ace. 10-11. Service is wide. The Bobcats and Deb Morrison will take over the lead. 11 serving 10. Morrison here in game 1. Service is good. Pumped up Sulphur setting Sorrell. Sorrell take, as the fake said, as a Sulphur decided to dump it over on their own. And they get the side out. Lattonville, number 7. Hillary Lattonville. Service is short. Side out goes the Bobcats and Deb DeMars. 11 serving 10. Service is good. Back to Sorrell. Sorrell would hit. Sorry, Hamill. Dropping the ball right in. Bridget Sorrell, number 9. Will serve 10 serving 11. Service is good. Morrison over to Sulphur. Sulphur can't handle the kill. $11 serving 10. April Miller. And the Bobcats. Service is an ace. April Miller. 12 serving 10. Okay, April Miller, 12 serving 10, game 1. Service is good. Nice play. Nice play by number 8, Sarah Herons for the Knights. Good quick reaction, turned the ball over to Brooke Soper. 10 serving 12. Service is good, and it's an ace. Soper's the service. Gave the Bobcats headaches last time. 11 serving 12. Bobcats need to break Soper's service. Service is long. Bobcats will regain the service, but are still maintaining a lead. 12 serving 11. Casey Begor serving for the Bobcats. Service is good. Bumped up by Soper. Over the net. Handled by LaForest. LaForest. Soper. Setting Lattonville. DeMars bumping up to LaForest. LaForest can't bump the ball over. Turned over. Side out. Marissa Hamill. Serving. 11 serving 12. Service is good. Begor bumped it up. Felch bumps it over and the ball drops in. So Kylie Felch regains the service for the Bobcats. Christy LaForest, number 1. Take over service. 12 serving 11. Service is short in the net. Seton Catholic and Sarah Herons. Substitutions for the Knights. Be number 4, Sarah Coffey will replace number 8, Sarah Herons. So it's Coffey for Herons. 11 serving 12. As Coffey will try to close the gap and tie this game up. Service is good. Return by the Bobcats. LaForest bumped up to DeMars. DeMars for Morrison. Morrison's kill is wide. So the Knights tie it up. Service is good. That's an ace. The Knights are in the net. So the Bobcats take over service. Janelle Yasmin went to the game, replacing Kylie Felch. Yasmin will take over service. 12 serving 13. So Janelle Yasmin take over service. 12 serving 13. Net service, side out for the Knights. Substitution. Felch will return, replacing Yasmin. And Maggie Church will take over service for the Knights. Leading this game, 13-12. Service is long. The Bobcats. And Debbie Morrison take over service. 12-13. Service is good. Bumped up Soper to Lattenville. And Lattenville drops the ball in, so Lattenville get the side out back for the Knights. And Hillary Lattenville will take over service. 13-12. Service is good. DeForest bumps it up for Hamill. Hamill will take the set back. Nice little push over. And by DeMars. Begor. Hamill digs that one up. Hamill will take the set back. And Hamill will get the kill. And the point. So the Knights will now be serving for game point here. 14-12. Lattenville serving for point. Service is good, bumped up. Miller, push on. A nice call by Brooke Soper as she called for the ball to be out. And Marissa Hamill let it drop, and it was true to form, and the Knights take game one. 15-12. We're back for game two in just a minute. The Seton Knights have returned to the floor for game two. Marietta Church, number 6. Number 3, April LaValle. Number 14, Marissa Hamill. And number 11, Erica Vincent. And number 5, Brooke Sofer will open up for the Knights. On the Bobcat side, Casey Begor, April Miller, Chrissy LaForest, Deb Morrison, Janelle Yasmith, and Jamie DeCoss will open for the Bobcats. Brooke Sofer will open up service for the Knights. As soon as the officials get the starting lineups, we will be back. Okay, we're back. Brooke Sofer, opening service. Service is good. After return by the Bobcats. So Sofer opens up service with an ace. Again, Bobcats have difficulty returning Sofer's service. 2-0 for Brooke Sofer and the Knights of Seton Catholic. Underneath the net, so Casey Begor will take over service for the Bobcats. Begor, 0 serving 2. Service is good. And it's an ace, so Casey Begor scores the first points for the Bobcats. Okay, Morrison for LaForest. Back to Morrison. And Morrison will be credited with the kill as the Bobcats tie this game up. Casey Begor. Service is good. Side out. I'm sorry. Casey Begor will get credited with the point. We have an official's timeout. Bobcats lead 3-2. believe the Knights have just been called for an equipment violation, as number 11, Erica Bitson, entered the game wearing what appeared to be a hard hairband and she received a yellow caution for it. You don't see them very often in this game. So Begor take over service, 3 serving 2. Lattenville, back for Soper. There's the Forest, Seton Morrison. Dug out. So Debbie Morrison with the kill. The ball was dug out by Church for Seton Catholic Knights, but couldn't be handled by other teammates. So Begor, service is good, and it's an ace. 5 serving 2 is Casey Begor. The Bobcats need to maintain this lead. LaForest to Morrison. And give credit for the kill for Morrison. And Soper dug out Morrison's kill, but put it into the net. So a timeout for the Knights. And when we return, the Bobcats will be serving 6 serving 2. Game 2. They were back. Game 2. The Bobcats lead Seton Knights 6-2. Casey Begor serving. The officials are giving direction to both benches and both captains. So Begor, 6 serving 2. It's going to be bumped way over, and Soper handles it nicely. Yasmin to LaForest. Dug out by Soper. There's LaForest to Morrison. And no one will get that. Debbie Morrison made a nice little pick and just rolled the ball to the right of Marissa Hamill and out of the reach of a diving Brooke Soper. Nice play by Debbie Morrison. 7 serving 2. Casey Begor. Soper bumping it back over. Morrison back to Seton Knights. Hamill. Can't be handled by the Bobcats, so Seton Knights will take over service. Marissa Hamill. 2 serving 7 here in game 2 for the Knights. Yasmin dug it out, but Morrison can't run it down. Hamill, 3 serving 7. Miller, up to LaForest. Soper to Morrison. To LaForest, back to Morrison. Morrison will put it in there for the side out. Coming into the game, Leslie Sweeney, number 12, replacing Christy LaForest. Number 1, so it'll be Sweeney for LaForest. So Sweeney will take over service. 7 serving 3, game 2. The Knights won game 1, so they lead this best of 3 match, 1 game to none. But the Bobcats hold a 7-3 lead in game 2. Line violation. We'll turn the ball over to side out to Seton Knights. LaForest will return, replacing Sweeney. So it'll be LaForest for Sweeney. As the Bobcats are called for a foot foul. Lattenville, 3 serving 7. Side out for the Bobcats. Janelle Yasmin, 7 serving 3. Miller. There's Decas. And Decas, Jamie Decas. a kill. So 8 serving 3. Janelle Yasmin. Service is good. An ace. Janelle Yasmin. 9 serving 3. Nine serving 3. Service is good. Hamill. Return attempt is wide. So it'll be an ace for Yasmin. Janelle Yasmin, 10 serving 3. As the Bobcats open a commanding lead here in game 2. Lattenville. For Miller, try to run down that errant hit. Oh, we'll turn the side out to the Seton Catholic Knights, who trail the Northern Adirondack Bobcats 3-10. A rocket off the lights here, folks. The Seton will be credited for the point. 4 serving 10 is Maggie Church. Slide out as the service is long. Debbie Morrison. Take over service. As Morrison hides behind the backboard here. Service is good, and that's an ace. 11 serving 4. As Morrison. Service is good, another ace. Morrison put that ball right in the same place 2 serves in a row. And substitutions will enter Seton's game. Bridget Sorrell will enter replacing Marietta Church. It'll be Sorrell for Church. As the Bobcats of Northern Adirondack take a 12-4 lead here in game 2. Service is pumped. Sulphur over LaForest to Miller. Up for Begor. And Begor's kill attempt is good, so it's 13 serving 4. Casey Begor taking a set from April Miller. So Seton Knights will call timeout. When we return, the Bobcats will be serving 13 serving 4. Game 2. Okay, we missed a point, so Morrison will be serving for point here. 14 serving 4. Service is good, and it's an ace. So Debbie Morrison and the Northern Adirondack Bobcats come back and take game 2, 15-4. So we'll have a coin toss, and we'll have a coin toss for service for game 3, the third and decisive game here in this match. In just a minute. So the Bobcats come out here for game 3. Christy LaForest, Deb DeMars, Janelle Yasmin, Casey Begor, Tiffany Leonard, and number 16, Lynn Barron, as the Knights of Seton Catholic will send out Hamill, Sofer, Church, Sorrell, Lattenville, and number 8, Sarah Herons. Game 3. Okay, so Sofer. Brooke Sofer, number 5. Open service in this third game. Begor bumps it back over to Seton. And Seton does return it, so the Bobcats will take the side out. Casey Begor, number 11. Sorry, number 14. Seton's return attempt is in the net, so the Bobcats open up scoring here in game 1. Begor, 1 serving 0. Service is good. Leonard. Okay, so we go side out to Seton Catholic. Marissa Hamill. Side out for the Bobcats as Seton's call for a carry. Christy LaForest, 1 serving 0. An ace. 2 serving 0. LaForest services in the net. Side out, Seton Catholic. Substitution for the Knights will be number 4, Sarah Coffey, replacing number 8, Sarah Herons. That's Coffey for Herons. Little good luck charm. 0 serving 2 will be Coffey. And it's an ace. One serving 2. Service is good. All tied up here in game 3. The third and decisive game here. Coffey. So the Seton Knights get called for a line violation. And turn the service over to Janelle Yasmin. That's an ace. So Yasmin, credit for the ace and the point. 3 serving 2 for the Bobcats here in game 3. Oh boy, am I glad to see you. Yasmin's service is good. Off the antenna. So the Bobcats, 4 serving 2. Here's Janelle Yasmin. Net service. Seton Catholic Knights will take over service. Pumped up by Leonard. Over by Sofer. They'll be down for a side out. I'm sorry, a point. So Seton. Service is in the net. Service will be taken over by the Bobcats. Tiffany Leonard, number 7. 4 serving 3 here in game 3. Leonard's service is long. As again, Sofer calls out to let it go. 3 serving 4 will be Latinville. Hillary Latinville. Service is good. Yasmin pumps it back over. Church to Sofer to Hamill. Hamill's bump is over. So, side out to the Bobcats. And number 11, Deb DeMars, will take over service for the Bobcats. Service is good. Pumped up by Coffey. Leonard to LaForest. Back over by Varon. Begor to LaForest. Setting back for Begor. And Begor's kill attempt is in the net. So turn the ball back to the Knights of Seton Catholic. And number 9, Bridget Sorrell. 3 serving 4. Nice serve, an ace. Just over the top of the net. All tied up here in game 3. Net service. Turns over. Substitution for the Bobcats. Number 2, April Miller will enter the game and replace number 16, Lynn Barron. So that'd be Miller for Barron. And April Miller will take over service for the Bobcats. All tied up at 4 here in game 3. The third and decisive game of this match. Service is good. Sofer bumping it back. Hamill, nice play by Hamill to keep it alive and over. Janelle Yasmith taking the set from LaForest. And Yasmith will get credit for the kill. Good play in the Seton Catholic Knights side of the net by Marissa Hamill, but Janelle Yasmith comes up with a big kill for the Bobcats. 5 serving 4. Coffey can't handle that wide bump. So Miller has come off the bench to serve 2 straight points here. 6 serving 4 here in game 3. Service is good. Here's Lattenville to Hamill. Hamill can't get it over the net, so the Bobcats will score yet another point. April Miller has opened the lead, 7-4. Miller's service is good, and it's an ace as it dropped in front of Church. April Miller, 8 serving 4, as Miller's come off the bench to serve 4 straight points. The officials remind the Bobcat bench they have to be sitting in their seats. Miller's service again in front of Church. She bumps it up, and it can't be handled by Lattenville. By Sorrell. 9 serving 4, and Seton will call timeout. Turn 9 serving 4 for the Bobcats. 9 serving 4, game 3. Service is good. Service is good. It's called by the stand official. So it's 10 serving 4. So April Miller serving 6 straight points. Church bumping it up to Sulphur. And a Bobcat point, 11 serving 4. April Miller coming up with a big service here for the Bobcats. Service is good. Bumped up by Hamill. Back to Coffey. Over the net. Okay, we're back. A little power problem. 4 serving 11. Deb DeMar is bumping up to LaForest. LaForest pushing over. Handled by Hamill. And that's tough to say, folks. Side out for the Bobcats. 11 serving 4 will be Casey Begor. Net serve. Side out will go to Marissa Hamill, number 14. Hamill will be 4 serving 11. Game 3. Service is good. And it's an ace. Drops in front of Begor. Casey Begor with a diving attempt to return it, to dig it out. 5 serving 11 here. Game 3. Begor bumping LaForest. LaForest setting for Yasmin. Yasmin, Yasmin comes up with a nice hit for a side out. And substitution. Debbie Morrison, number 17, will enter the game, replacing number 1, Christy LaForest. So that'll be Morrison for LaForest. 11 serving 5 here in the third and decisive game of this match. Service is good. Sulphur bumping it up to the net, and it's going to be called for a carry by Hillary Lattenville. Debbie Morrison credited with the point. 12 serving 5. Morrison service is good. Sulphur bumping it up to Church. Church for Lattenville. Lattenville. Ball put in there nicely. Lattenville eyed the wide portion of the Bobcat defense and dropped the ball in there for a side out. So number 4, Sarah Coffey. 5 serving 12. Oh, that kid just missed that backboard. Service is an ace for Sarah Coffey. 6-12. Service is good. LaForest bumping it up. DeMars too close to the net, can't handle the ball. So, be a point for Coffey and the Knights of Seton. 7-12. Service is good. Yasmin to DeMars. Back to Yasmin. Yasmin with a nice hit. You know Yasmin, go up high for that hit. Then DeMars with a nice set. And you know Yasmin will get the side out and the service. 12-7 here in game 3. Handled by Sofer to Church. Lattenville bumping it in. And the Knights will take back service as Maggie Church, number 12, will serve. 7-12. Casey Begor, nice play by Begor to let it go. Side out. Tiffany Leonard, number 7, will take over service for the Bobcats. 12-7. Service is just long. The Bobcats and the Knights exchange services. And we come back to Hillary Lattenville, number 7. 7-12 here for the Knights. Service is good. Leonard bumping it up to Begor. Miscommunication, and the Bobcats will now make it 12-8. So Lattenville, 8-12. Service is good. LaForest, Begor, bumping it over. The Knights, 12-9 here for the Bobcats. Game 3. We have a timeout. We'll be back. Game 3. Lattenville, 9-12. As Seton trails the Bobcats. DeMars, setting Begor. Coffey digging that one up. Sofer bumping over to Begor. Begor to DeMars. DeMars setting for Begor. Begor through the block. But it's handled by Hamill. And Hamill. Marissa Hamill comes up with a kill. Nice volley by both teams. As the Knights close within 2. 10-12. Hillary Lattenville. Net service, so we'll turn the service over to the Bobcats. And Deb DeMars. Number 11. Service is good. Lattenville bumping up to Sofer. Sofer to Hamill. Leonard to LaForest to Varon. Nice bump. Sofer. And a miscommunication on the part of the Knights. Will bring the Bobcats to within 2 points of this game and match. 13-10 is Deb DeMars for the Bobcats. Service is good. Coffey bumping it right back over. Leonard to LaForest to Begor. Leonard to LaForest to Varon. Nice play by Lattenville. Sorrell. And the Bobcats are now be serving for a match point. And we'll have a timeout called on Seton's part. Okay, match point. Deb DeMars. Service is good. Church bumping up Sorrell. Sending it over. Leonard for LaForest. Back. Leonard bumps it over. Here's Varon to LaForest. Back to Varon. Varon staying with it. LaForest keeping it alive. Oh, good try by the Bobcats. Nice hustle on Lynn Varon. But the ball go over to Bridget Sorrell. 10-14. Seton's back is to the wall. But it's an ace for Sorrell. Sorrell just dropping it over the net right in front of the Bobcat line. 11-14. Bridget Sorrell. That'll be short. So ball turnover. And coming on to serve will be April Miller. Miller, who gave the Bobcats the lead that they haven't relinquished yet here in game 3. 14 serving 11. April Miller will serve match point. And service is short in the net, so we turn it over to Brooke Sofer. Sofer, who in game 1, her service gave the Bobcats a lot of difficulty. 11 serving 14. And there's a point for Sofer. 12 serving 14. If you're Seton Catholic, you have to want to have number 5 in that service position. Reserve. And she's brought them to within 1. 13 serving 14. So for service is good. Bumped up by Begor. And they're trying to chase it down. It's all tied up here. And we're going to have a timeout for the Bobcats. We return all tied up at 14, and Seton will have service. Okay, all tied up at 14. Brooke Sofer. Service is good. April Miller bumping it up. Seton Catholic's call for a carry. Turn the service over to Casey Begor. All tied up here at 14 in game 3. Service is good. Sofer picks it up. Church with a nice play. And the Bobcats are called from the net. So now falls on the shoulders of Marissa Hamill. Number 14, and we're all tied up at 14 here in game 3. Hamill's service is short. And they'll turn over after substitution to Debbie Morrison, number 17. She'll enter the game replacing number 1, Christy LaForest. That's Morrison for LaForest. Debbie Morrison, number 17, all tied up at 14. Service is good. Sofer handles it to Begor, to DeMars, to Yasmin. Let it slide out for the Seton Catholic Knights. Substitution. LaForest will return, replacing Debbie Morrison. Sarah Coffey, number 4, for the Seton Knights, will take over service. We're all tied up here at 14 in game 3. Service is good. Yasmin bumping it right back over to Seton. Here's Church, setting for Latinville. Dug out by Begor to DeMars. Set for Leonard. Hamill to Church. And Begor. Maggie Church, a nice little push over net for Seton Catholic, but it's handled by Casey Begor, who sends it right back to the corner for a side out. Janelle Yasmin, all tied up at 14. Services dug out. Latinville to Begor, to DeMars. April Miller, nice little pushover. And there's a 15-14. Remind you folks, we have to win by 2 here. So Yasmin will be serving for match point. 15 serving 14 here in game 3. Service is good. Dug out by Sofer. And that's game. And the Bobcats hold on to win this match. 2 games to 1. 16-14. That's how it was in downtown Ellenburg Corners. January 26, 1995. Coming to you from Hometown Cable. The cameraman Dan Shaughnessy and your announcer is Tim Sheen. Thank you very much.